They can swear, and yes, they can put their hands on recruits. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done.
The military today isn't the same one it was just a few years ago. Everything from how you enter basic training to how you live day to day in the barracks is changing. Some changes make things smoother, but most, I'm not going to lie to you guys, they're getting tougher. And if you're thinking about joining or you're already in the military, you need to understand what's happening right now, because the next generation of service members is about to step into a completely different military. And in this video, I'm breaking down what's really changing across the force, what it means for you, and what I think is coming next. To make it simple, I've broken everything into three main categories: training and standards. This is your boot camp entry-level training and how the military is reshaping its first impressions. Quality of life, what service members face after basic, housing, grooming, deployments, and just the daily life of a service member. And last but not least, the future force, where things are headed next potentially and things you need to know. Before we get started though, drop a comment with what branch you're joining or currently in, and what your job is and how things are currently looking for you right now. How was your military career so far? And what was your experience if you're a veteran? Shout out to all my veterans in my comment section. In March 2025, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth ordered a department-wide review of every branch's policies, including fitness, grooming, and training pipelines. That review led to the 10 War Department directives announced later this year at Marine Corps Base Quantico. The goal: restore combat readiness, raise physical and professional standards, and re-empower commanders and NCOs to enforce discipline without fear of reprisal. So when you see training getting shorter, PT tests changing, or leadership cracking down on standards, it's not random. It's part of a deliberate top-down reset of the entire military. Under the new guidance, all combat-related MOSs must complete their branch's PT test at a gender-neutral male standard, with a minimum passing score of 70% or higher across the joint force. Across the joint force, every service member at every rank must now take a PT test twice a year, meet height and weight requirements twice a year, and also conduct daily physical training on duty days. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Some of this stuff seems like it should have already been implemented in the military. I want you guys to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Focusing on the Navy, it's shortened boot camp at Great Lakes down from 10 weeks to 9. Officials said the goal is to eliminate redundant lessons and idle time, not to make things easier. It's about fleet readiness and training efficiency, getting sailors to the fleet faster while keeping standards intact. It also helps reduce instructor burnout by tightening the schedule and cutting wasted hours. Now, what does this mean for you if you're heading to Great Lakes? Don't expect more free time, expect less downtime, more back-to-back training, and a faster pace from day one. Shorter doesn't necessarily mean softer. Now, moving on to the Air Force. The Air Force is rolling out BMT 2.0, a full redesign of basic training launching late 2025. Morning PT increases from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. Flights shrink from 40 to 50 trainees to small elements of 10 to 15, mirroring real combat teams. They also are putting a less focus on marching and dorm inspections and instead more on field operations, navigation, and simulated deployments. Trainees will also now carry a dummy M4 rifle, reflecting a shift toward a combat-ready mindset. The Air Force is also updating its physical fitness assessment with a 100-point system across 4 areas: cardio, which consists of a 1.5-mile run or a 20-meter shuttle run, and also another category called waist to height ratio, and then the last two, which is strength, which is consisting of push-ups or hand release push-ups, and the last category, which is core, consisting of sit-ups or cross-leg reverse crunches or a plank. Airmen also have to take the test twice a year, with at least one including a 2-mile run. So welcome to the Army Standards Air Force. Now moving to the branch that your boy is in. The Army's overhaul is the most extensive and probably the most controversial. The Future Soldier Preparatory course is changing, where recruiters can now attend to fix either their ASVAB score or fitness, but not both. It used to be both. Drill sergeants are no longer required to perform physical corrective action on trainees. They're also banned from appearing on social media, with trainees part of a professionalism and privacy reform. But I want you guys to put in the comments below what you thought about trainees and drill sergeants mixing up for TikTok videos. But I did not see in any policy where drill sergeants can lay hands on trainees. So if you recently graduated from basic, put it in the comments below if you've seen otherwise. Because Secretary of War Hegseth said wall-to-wall counseling may become a thing. But on top of that, starting January 2nd, all female drill sergeants, active duty and reserve, begin wearing the same campaign hat as male drill sergeants. And that's because the Army could not find a vendor who could make the female variant hat to their standard. And also, if you guys did not know, the Army replaced the Army Combat Functional Test to the Army Functional Test, which now includes 5 events instead of the 6, which consists of the deadlift, hand release push-ups, sprint drag carry, plank, and lastly with a 2-mile run. I think it's better. I hated the ball throw. The ball throw made the test extremely harder to max, especially if you're like your boy 5'7". You know what I'm saying? It's not really favorable to the shorter guys. So the max is 500 now instead of 600. And then on top of that, if you guys are going to basic training soon, there is a Forge 2.5 where the Army revamped its field event called the Forge. It's to include drone training and lessons from the war in Ukraine. So trainees are going to be out in the field and they're going to be evading drones. Sounds pretty cool. If you've done it, put it down in the comments below what your experience was. Before we keep going, let's talk about protecting yourself off duty too, because even when you clock out, threats don't. This video is sponsored by Aura. Have you ever Googled yourself and see those weird data sites saying they've got your info? Yes, you have. You got random text, you got all sorts of crazy stuff within this time period. It freaked me out too though. 11 pages of my personal data, my phone number, old addresses, even my relatives' info, all for sale on these sites, and these companies make billions selling that to scammers, spammers, and stalkers with zero accountability. It's wild that in 2025, you either go completely off the grid or give up your privacy. That shouldn't be the trade-off. That's why I started using Aura, because it fights back for you. Aura automatically finds the data brokers selling your personal info and gets it removed and keeps it off, because sometimes you remove it, but it's back up the next day. Aura has real-time fraud warnings for your bank or credit accounts and 24/7 US-based support. If something ever happens, they even back it all up with a $5 million identity theft insurance. So if you value your privacy, like I do, don't wait until something happens. Use my link in the description below to try Aura for free for 14 days. That's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your info off the internet before someone else, like our adversaries out there, like your stalker X, to get your info and use it against you. Now let's talk about what happens after training, the daily life stuff that most people don't think about, because all people think about in the military is how scary basic training is going to be. Oh, I'm going to have to cut my hair, yada, yada, yada. But after that, it's 3 to 4 years and even more, depending on if you re-enlist, of this. So I need you guys to pay attention, because if you don't agree to any of this, I need you guys to do something else, because I don't want you guys to join and commit a significant time of your life to something that you don't agree with. I'm talking life in the barracks, grooming, duty stations, and even how leadership operates. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is that mandatory but online training and one of the smaller but welcome changes, the number of required annual training courses was cut from 27 down to 16. And thank God, because mandatory training or mandatory online training, it's not fun if you've had to do it before. The idea is to give troops more time for real world tasks, training, maintenance, and recovery instead of endless PowerPoints. And my God, was I not expecting the amount of PowerPoints I've had to sit through in my military career. Moving on to toxic leadership and hazing, the War Department announced a review of how toxic leadership, bullying, and hazing are defined to help commanders enforce high standards without the fear of backlash. The focus is on separating legitimate misconduct from tough professional leadership. Now, I want you guys to define that in the comments below, but personally, I think this was one of the good things where it kind of allows NCOs and first line supervisors to implement that tough love, where we can only talk to you nicely for so much, put it on paper for so much. Some people can only understand some push-ups and some other tough love without the fear of getting in trouble for the NCO or the commander who's trying to implement discipline. Because We've all seen a soldier who's not as motivated or who just doesn't care, and it truly does affect the morale for the rest of the unit. This one might be the most controversial one, at least for me, but service members with medical exemptions must now have a military medical officer provide a written recommendation concerning a shaving waiver, which your boy has, to the commander, who is the final approval authority. Service members with an approved shaving waiver will participate in a medical treatment plan. Unit commanders will initiate separation of service members who require a shaving waiver after more than 1 year of medical treatment. So pretty much the way I interpreted this is right now the military isn't pro-beards. Just like how the ban on trans service members President Trump imposed in his first presidency, which was later revoked by Joe Biden, and now they're banned again. I think that will be similar to how beards will play out in the future. And it's just one of the things about the military. Every 4 years, you're going to have to expect some change, and this is one of those things. And also, looking at the verbiage in the Army policy, it says an accumulation of exception to policies to the facial hair grooming standards totaling over 12 months in a 24-month period may result in an administrative separation. So, does that mean that there is a case where if a soldier indeed has an issue and his command team allows, can he keep extending his profiles? Because the trend that I'm seeing here is that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is giving more power to the commander. So if your commander sees you, a highly motivated soldier, has no issues, and you fall under a skin condition that you have no control over, do you guys think that that commander will allow that soldier to keep extending his profile? Right now, your boy has 11 more chances before I get administratively separated. I tried to shave, but puberty hit me like a Mack truck, you know what I'm saying? So don't hate me. Don't hate me, man. But at the same time, though, I will have to play devil's advocate here. I've seen too many soldiers on social media in full uniform, and their shaving profile beard is individualized, i.e. they trim freaking the neck part, and you know what I'm saying, they trim this part down. That's not allowed. And also, it's just, some of you guys, your beard looks like trash. I'm not gonna cap. It doesn't look presentable, it doesn't look professional, and I think you should rather shave because just don't look good. And that's my 2 cents. Come at me in the comments. I want to hear you guys' opinion, but what I will say though is that I believe that if every service member followed their shaving profile to the T, we would still have this coming. The Army will also roll out a new 321 tour model for assignments in South Korea. Accompanied tours with family extended from 24 to now 36 months. Unaccompanied tours extended from just 1 year, 12 months to 24 months. And soldiers denied accompanied status can still serve a 12-month dependent restricted tour if housing or approval isn't available. Korea used to be a 1-year duty station for single soldiers and a 2-year duty station for soldiers moving with their families, but it kind of didn't make sense because if you're on station in Korea for only a year, you really don't have time to integrate and embed yourself with the culture of your unit and foster those relationships, because by the time you learn everybody, you're leaving. And then also looking at it from a financial side of things, paying for PCSs across an ocean every year for a lot of soldiers isn't the most efficient way of spending money. So you can kind of see where the Army is thinking with that. What do you guys think? I honestly, 1 year was enough for me though. I don't like staying too long outside the United States. I haven't found my country yet. Bottom line, across all branches, the direction seems to be shifting back toward a more traditional disciplined force.
1990s seems to be as good a place to start as any.
Service members can expect tighter grooming standards and appearance standards, higher accountability for leadership and readiness, longer tours, fewer moves, and more stability overseas. We'll see how this works out. And if you guys want to know my opinion, we definitely needed some of these changes. And since the economy in the United States is down right now, the military is capitalizing on talent that can't find a job in the civilian sector. This is legit something researched by the Department of War itself. In summary, enlistment trends are based on 2 key external market factors: the level of military pay relative to civilian wage, opportunities for youth, and civilian unemployment rate. On top of that, United States intelligence suggests that China has plans to invade Taiwan by 2027. And we're in 2025. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of the conflict, but China is a near peer enemy. And like Secretary Hegseth said,
because the next war, like the last, will likely not have a rear area.
So that kind of explains why traditionally non-combat focused branches like the Air Force are starting to implement combat-related training. You go to war with the army you have, not the army you like. So, thinking to myself, if me shaving my face means we're avoiding World War III, I'm for it. But right now, I am on profile, so please leave me alone in the comments. I also want to remind you guys that this may not be forever. Just like the last Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin made changes that some agreed with and some didn't. That's what we'll see in the next election. Till then, keep your cool, don't make any emotional decisions, and just do your job and do it well. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If you're new, like the video, comment down anything below. Much love, boys. Tell me how you guys like the new setup. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, subscribe.